Hey, Grande Live, this is Coffee with Will, brought to you by Northwest Furniture and Mattress, Grand Ronde Hospital, Anything Too Digital, EONI, Valley Realty, Country Financial, and Les Schwab Tire Center. And I'm here today with Collete Zack, who is an EOU student, EOU worker, and the founder of the, what was the name one more time?
Outdoor Women Project.
The Outdoor Women Project, which is a project right here in the Grand, which is designed to get girls and women into community and get them outdoors. So she's here today to chat with me a little bit about herself and her project. So thank you so much for coming to joining me, Collette.
Thanks for having me.
So tell me a little bit about you and the outdoors. How did you get into the outdoors, and why is it so special to you?
I grew up in Hood River, Oregon, and I grew up in a really outdoorsy family. My dad taught me how to surf when I was 3. My mom and dad—
In Hood River?
On the coast in Hood River, and
gotcha.
we made trips to other places as well.
Very cool.
And then both my mom and dad are snowboarders, so they got me into winter sports. Ironically, I ended up being a skier. And then both my parents taught me how to windsurf as well, and then my whole family mountain bikes, windsurfs, skis, surfs, and does all those things together. And then just growing up in the gorge, the hiking everywhere is phenomenal, so that's kind of the family
So you
activity.
kind of got into this by proxy.
Yes.
That's very cool. Yeah, it's definitely easier to get into the outdoors, you know, when you have someone in your life that's very like doing it already.
Yeah, well, the gorge, everyone who grows up there, it's kind of in your blood.
Yeah.
And then family, it's what you do on the weekends.
Fair enough, fair enough. So tell me a little bit about this project that you're working on that gets women outdoors. Why is that important to you?
The Outdoor Women Project was something I started here with the group of some of the ladies from the outdoor program too. They've been really helpful as well as some of the businesses in town. Blue Mountain Outfitters has been awesome. But I saw it being really important because I came from a town where I grew up with a bunch of girls that all did the same things I did. Their parents taught them to ski, taught them to do these things. So when we grew up, we would just get in the car and go do stuff together. Or we've been skiing together since we were 3. There was never a question of who you were going to go with.
3? You've been skiing since you were 3?
I have a really funny picture of me looking like a marshmallow with my mom just like holding
like
me.
Up there where like I'm out skiing and I see somebody that's this big and they're a better skier than I am, and I'm like,
my mom put me on skis when I was 3. I would say I probably didn't move until a little bit older. But yeah, so I had like a really good group of women that I would just go and do stuff with. It wasn't really a question of like, oh, we're making a women's group to go do stuff. And then I moved here, and it's much more conservative. It's a much more male-dominant outdoor recreation area, especially with like the hunters and everything. And that's not something I grew up with. So I came here, saw the outdoor recreation, and then didn't have like the immediate friend group that grew up similarly to me. And so in some ways, the project started as like, hey man, I could just really use some girlfriends to like go ski with and hike and mountain bike. And then started talking with a few of my friends, Emily Elsner and Delaney Paulus and Teresa Smolkowski. And we were all just hanging out one day, and I mentioned it at different times to them. But they're all really outdoorsy as well. And we all felt like there was a big disconnect between women here. Like there was a lot of women doing outdoor recreation, but none of them knew each other, or they were all going with their boyfriends, or they weren't going at all because they didn't have that group. And we were trying to figure out why that was, and why was there no like community aspect of it. And I think a lot of it is a lot of the girls who are outdoorsy move here. They didn't grow up here. So then they don't know each other. They're not in the same classes. They're not working the same jobs. So we started the Outdoor Women Project basically to create just a group of really fun, like-minded women to go out and do stuff with. And then it turned into this kind of movement of empowering women and creating diversity on the EOU campus too.
Wow.
So it's been really cool. Yeah, our first ever like sign-up sheet that we put out at a club fair, we got 120 emails.
Wow. So apparently there's a demand for it.
There's absolutely a demand for it, yeah.
So that being said, why do you think that there's such a demand for like women's communal outdoor activities? Like what is it about that?
Society has consistently told us we can't go do these things without men.
Yeah.
And it's not the case. We all know how to wax and tune our own skis. We know how the gear we need. We know how to lead backpacking trips. Like, there's not a need to go out with men all the time. And I think sometimes it's intimidating to women who haven't been outdoorsy before and want to be, to go out with the guys who are just like kind of gnarly and like ready to go, you know? That's it's a little intimidating. So if you're in a group of women who like have knowledge and don't have knowledge and people can share it, I think it's easier for women to get involved, and there's a want to get involved. So I don't know. There's a lot of really cool sports in the area that I think are limited to background sometimes. Like, you don't climb unless your parents climbed, or you don't ski unless someone in your family taught you to ski. And there's a lot of people who want to learn but don't have the right group. And so a women's group is more open and welcoming to women who have never tried than like male counterparts who are like, let's do it. Let's do
17 miles next week. I know, and that has been my experience. I have accidentally taken my fiance on a 16-mile hike when we probably, with full frame backpacks that we probably shouldn't have been.
Well, and I think that there's like the connotation too that like women can't do it as much or are weaker at this, and there are some ladies in the group who shred, you know, and they kick butt, and it's cool to see like that empowering thing where like one girl pushes a little harder and then it keeps going, but it's not competitive because we're all just friends and we all just want to like hang out and be outside. So it's cool.
That's awesome. That's really, really cool. So, you know, maybe someone's a little bit hesitant to, you know, join a group like this, you know, because I mean, you know, you guys, like you said, there are some women who can shred in this group, you know, who have been doing outdoor activities, you know, doing that for a long time. Maybe not all girls have been like that. Yeah. Why, how would you encourage someone who's never been in the outdoors, but maybe wants to a little bit, but maybe is a little intimidated? How would you encourage them to come join this group?
Yeah, so we've done a few things. We had 3 women come who had just finished the Pacific Crest Trail, which is an entire trail that goes through all of Oregon, California, Washington, starts at the Mexico border and goes all the way to the Canadian border. What was so cool, and I didn't know this at the time, I was like expecting these women with a ton of experience and whatnot, and one of the girls who hadn't had very much experience with anything sort of outdoorsy asked a question, how much did you guys train? And one of the girls said, I did 1 overnight backpacking trip my entire life, and that was it. That's all I've ever done, you know? And so it was like kind of this eye-opening thing for these girls to see, oh my gosh, that's me, you know? Like I've only done that, but she just did the entire Pacific Crest Trail.
Wow, and this was with 2 of her girlfriends.
Well, they all met on the trail. None of them knew each other before that. They all started separately.
So she had only ever done 1 overnight trip, and she went to go do the Pacific Coast Trail on her own.
Yeah, the Crest Trail. It was,
Or Pacific Crest Trail, Wow, that is quite the jump.
It was pretty cool. And then the other thing that's cool is out of my officers, my vice president, Emily Elsner, like grew up on a ranch, but didn't necessarily do like all of the things that we do at the outdoor program. And she's adapted and become one of the most like strong-willed outdoorsy women on campus. So she can provide a lot of insight of like, hey, this isn't necessarily like how I didn't grow up like Collette, but you know, like this is what we do and you can do it too. And then just having free gear rentals through the Outdoor Adventure program makes it way more accessible for everyone because you don't have to pay the startup costs of any of the sports. Snowshoes are free, backpacks for like backpacking trips are free, you have tents, you know, we've got cross-country skis. So I think just having a mix of girls who have and haven't like gives you the security of, okay, some people know what they're doing, we can hang out and go do this stuff and have some instruction. And there's a large group of people who haven't, who are all down to do it. So it's like that gung-ho, everybody's in sort of thing, where you're not the only one.
You're not the only person that doesn't know how to start a fire.
Yeah, no. And so doing things like that. And then we've done a backpacking trip already, and we had like a couple girls who had backpacked, and most of them had never backpacked before. So we do trips that accommodate all skill levels. So we did like the North Fork of the Umatilla. It's really mellow, just along the riverbed. And then you give forewarning of like, hey, this trip's going to be a little more of this trip's going to be a little more of this, so the girls can pick and choose where their comfort level is.
Wow. That's really cool. That is very, very cool.
Yeah.
So now, is this program open to non-EOU students, or is it just EOU students?
Yes, so we went through EOU and started the conversation of, can we have community members? So we charge $20 a year for for students for a yearly membership fee.
Okay.
And there are some costs with trips, just because right now we're not funded by the school as far as like Senate allocations or anything goes. And then it's $40 for community members. So yeah.
And that's for a year though.
For a year, yeah.
Wow.
And they might have a little bit more fees for trips or whatever, but we're getting some shirts made and gonna get some beanies and maybe a couple hammocks or something, just to kind of have like a unified thing when we go to club fairs and stuff. We can all be in our t-shirts, and the girls like that stuff, so it's cool. But yeah, no, we have a couple community members, and especially like our advisor Kelly Rice, and then Amy Bush with Wallowa Resources. She's been an awesome community member, and she's doing something similar with like middle schoolers.
Really?
Both boys and girls in Wallowa. So she was really stoked to see something here for like women and like my age group especially too. So
very cool.
Yeah, she's been an awesome community member to have.
That's very cool.
Yeah.
Well, awesome, Collette. Well, thank you so much for coming in and telling me a little bit about your program and everything.
Yeah, absolutely.
So the last thing I'm going to have you do is, and you can think about this for a minute if you want, I'm going to have you look at the camera right there, and I'm going to have you tell it, you know, maybe there's some young lady who's watching this episode of Coffee with Will. Maybe tell her why she should come and maybe go on a trip with you guys. Like, what is it about the outdoors that she could enjoy, about the community, about being empowered?
That's a big question.
Yeah, like just what's one thing that maybe they could gain out of going on a trip with you? Yeah, and like I said, you can think about this.
Yeah, I might have to give this a couple tries.
That's okay. That's why we're on camera and we can edit. This will be good.
Okay. If you are someone watching this who would like to join the OWP, I would encourage you to do so, because the women who are part of this program have started as just members and become my best friends and my family. And the program started as, hey, let's go on a hike, and now it's, hey, I need a hug, hey, I need support, hey, I need this, and we're doing it through the outdoors. For me, this program has been life-changing and shown how strong we really are. So no matter your skill level, come out and join us, because I guarantee it's one of the best things that you'll do, because it's been the best thing for me for college. Yeah.
Well, there you go, Grande Alive. You heard it right here. Get out and go and do some outdoor stuff with the Outdoor Women's Project. Thank you so much for joining me here today, Collette.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you, Grande Alive, for tuning in to Coffee with Will. Coffee with Will is brought to you by Northwest Furniture and Mattress, Ronde Hospital, Anything Digital, EONI, Valley Realty, Country Financial, and Schwab Tire Center. Please like and share this video and tune into LaGrandeAlive.tv for more local content. I'm Will Bowman.